Hey lovely, confidence is one of the most important qualities we can have as a person. It allows us to become more successful, to live happier lives, and attract healthy, loving relationships. And I know this firsthand because I've lived a life where I've transformed from having a lack of self-confidence to having as much confidence as I have today. You see, back in the day, I wasn't necessarily shy, but I was pretty insecure. So growing up, I witnessed some traumatic events, as well as I was bullied in school, which I mentioned before on this channel. And those experiences made me feel like shrinking myself would be best. It caused me to limit my own self-expression. So as I got older and I began to notice that, I took it upon myself to build my own self-confidence. And your girl was successful. And because I was able to do it, I know you're able to do it. So I'm gonna share with you how. So today I'm excited to share with you a nice combo of confidence tips, strategies, and techniques. I'm gonna give you 3 that are going to lead you to increasing your self-worth, building your confidence, and making you more magnetic to the things your heart desires. And you may or may not have noticed, but a few weeks ago I did a video similar to this about confidence and overcoming insecurity, but this one I'm sharing all new tips. Since posting that, I got some questions about confidence, so I figured I'd go a little deeper and give you new tips sooner rather than later. So I want to help you become a confident queen. And that's why your girl got this crown on her head, because the first step is embracing authenticity. It's about not being afraid to be yourself, not being afraid to look silly, not being afraid to be embarrassed, not being afraid to be different. Because think about it. How many times you go online, you go on social media and you see the same aesthetic. You see people posting the same videos, wearing the same clothes, looks like they're living in the same house. And it makes me wonder how many of these people are really being authentic to themselves, or how many of them are following a trend. Because in order to be confident, you have to be your true self, inside and out. And that goes beyond wearing this crown, even though it's cute. I love this crown. Side note, it's actually for my wedding day. And listen, you pay money for things for your wedding. I'm gonna use this crown. We're gonna be talking about becoming a confident queen, and I'm gonna wear this crown. But to dig deeper, embracing your authenticity means you begin to align your actions, your values, and your beliefs with your true self. So I'm gonna give you some tips because I wanna make sure you're able to take action when watching these videos. So if you haven't already, get your notepad out, girl, because I got you. Let's break down what it means and what it involves to become more authentic. The first step is self-reflection and awareness. That means take time to explore and understand your values, your passions, your unique qualities, and your strengths. What makes you you? When you pull back the layers, when you remove the trends, all the influences you see online, what makes you you? What is your confidence queen aesthetic? And in order to answer these questions, all you have to do is grab your journal and reflect. Reflect on your thoughts, reflect on your emotions, your feelings, your experiences, and ask yourself questions like, what activities make me feel the most alive and fulfilled? What values are most important to me in life? What attire and clothing make me feel the most comfortable? When do I feel like my most true self? The goal here is to gain more clarity into who you authentically are. Determine what matters to you, what's important to you, what makes you feel alive. Asking yourself how you would approach life, how you would be, what you would do, what you would say if you weren't shrinking yourself to fit into the crowd. This will help you start living more authentically. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, this might feel a little uncomfortable at first. You're being more vulnerable to and expressing who you are. And that's why within the practice of embracing authenticity, you want to embrace vulnerability. A great technique you can do is begin to share a bit more of yourself with people you trust, like your loved ones, your close friends, even if it feels a little uncomfortable. Share your authentic thoughts more, your feelings, your opinions, personal stories, and tidbits about your life. And I get it if this feels a little awkward at first, if this is not something you're used to doing. It definitely was awkward for me, where I've always been like the friend that people come to, asking for advice or sharing, information or wanting to know how to fix something, like they always came to me. And also having experience before becoming a content creator, before becoming a certified life coach and wellness facilitator, all that, I worked in human resources and communications for years and years and years. And people will come to me with their issues, come to me for support, come to me with their problems. And I often, protected myself and or at least I called it protected. I shielded myself, my experiences, things about me to basically be the shoulder that other people can cry on. And also so that whether it was professional or personal, people wasn't all up in my business, which really is a trust thing in some situations looking back. Other times it was smart. Other times it was like, what are you really concealing here? Why aren't you sharing? Why aren't you deepening relationships with people? So little by little, I began to do that, and you can too. Start by expressing yourself more often, and over time, gradually become deeper and deeper in your conversations with people. Sharing more about yourself, letting people get to really know you, the authentic you. And Brene Brown has a cool concept that's called leaning into the discomfort. Because again, this can be uncomfortable. It can feel awkward. But to become more of your authentic self, it's also necessary. So hopefully that little concept helped. These tips helped, because this type of vulnerability, this type of introspective self-reflection will lead to deeper connections, not with just others, but with yourself too. Thus, giving you a greater sense of authenticity and ultimately confidence. Now, in order to boost your confidence, number 2 is reframing your negative thoughts. And that involves both cognitive and behavioral strategies. So I'm gonna give you a few techniques to help you do that. What you wanna do is challenge your negative thoughts by using cognitive restructuring. This is gonna help you question the validity of your thoughts, especially the negative ones, and ultimately help you replace them with more realistic and empowering ones. Now, I went over this in a bit more detail in the last video on confidence that I created, which I will drop in the description box here. And I titled it my flip the script exercise. So this one is a little bit different, but equally as effective. So let's get into the technique. Ultimately, it's beginning a practice where when you begin to notice negative thoughts creeping up, ask yourself, where is the evidence to support this? Like, for example, if you say something like, I'm not smart, I'm so dumb, I'm stupid, where is the evidence to support this? Because if I said this to myself, which I've done this before. I said it out of frustration, but the truth is, I am smart. I have a high level degree, I have multiple certifications, I've been able to start and grow my own business. Your girl ain't no dummy. So in reality, there was no real evidence to support that negative thought. So I challenged it, and you can too. Next, asking yourself, what would I say to a friend in this situation? If you heard your friend saying, wow, I'm just so ugly, I look terrible, gosh, don't look at me, covering herself, hiding herself, you'd be like, actually, you're beautiful, inside and out. You'd encourage your friend. You'd point out all their beautiful characteristics. You'd uplift your friend. So do the same for you. And then you can also replace your negative thoughts with affirmative statements instead. When you feel bitter or frustrated because you're in a moment of struggle, instead of saying, oh, like I can't do this and giving up, you can swap that out with language that more so says, okay, I find this challenging. This is a bit difficult, but I have overcome obstacles before and I can do it again. You see how much more encouraging and empowering that second statement is? You can utilize statements like that, reframe your thoughts, shift your perspective, shift your mindset, and go from speaking negatively about yourself to speaking positively instead. And the last tip I want to share to help you reframe your negative self-talk and negative thoughts is to visualize your success. Oftentimes we spend hours and days even just thinking about the worst case scenario, thinking about how we could fail, thinking about how we could make mistakes and look silly in front of people. We have such strong, sometimes very detailed imaginations. But what if we use the power of visualizations to use our imagination for good? And we can do this by imagining ourselves succeeding, imagining ourselves feeling confident. And a technique you can use for that is by practicing guided imagery, practicing visualization. Literally, close your eyes. Take a moment to sit somewhere quiet or play some music in the background. Go somewhere, close your eyes, and vividly think about the success that you want to achieve. Maybe you have a presentation you have to give. Think about yourself freaking crushing that presentation. It becomes the best presentation you've ever done. You imagine people cheering for you, clapping for you, celebrating how well you did. Imagine yourself achieving your goals. Imagine yourself in that happy, loving, healthy relationship with someone who communicates, someone who's consistent. Picture yourself confidently going through all these experiences, ultimately feeling proud and accomplished at the end. And I want you to Incorporate as many senses as you can in these scenarios. What you see, what you hear, what you feel, externally and inside. What emotions do you feel? The more you attach your emotions to your thoughts, the better you have a chance of actually bringing those types of thoughts into your reality. Because the great thing about visualization is by regularly visualizing your success, you will rewire your brain to associate positive outcomes instead of keeping the habit of thinking of the negative ones. And the last way to help you build magnetic confidence, overcome your poor self-image, and boost your self-worth is by practicing self-love. Because if you don't love yourself, you will never, ever be fully confident. You could try to fake it on the outside, doing things like switching up your posture, speaking slower, more confidently, changing the way you dress. But unless you cultivate self-love, self-acceptance, self-respect, you will not have the self-confidence that you truly want. And this is a lesson I had to learn myself because growing up, I did a lot of performative activities. Like I was big into dance and cheerleading, and I was always ready to show up and show out on a stage. But deep down, I always felt a bit insecure about myself. Being bullied about how I physically looked made me have low self-esteem and a poor self-image about myself. I just didn't think I was pretty. I didn't think I could ever get the guys that I wanted to like me. I just didn't feel comfortable in my body. I saw a lot of flaws when I looked in the mirror, and any type of imperfections that I saw, it made me validate even more how I just didn't feel pretty, like I felt ugly. But thank the Lord Jesus, I was able to incorporate some tips and practices and techniques to overcome this. So I'm gonna share with you 2 that worked well for me. And this is especially in difficult times, or especially in moments where I would criticize myself. So I'm gonna share with you a beautiful, simple, and effective self-compassion technique that you can incorporate into your daily routine. All you have to do is find a nice, comfortable seat, place your hand on your heart, one over the other, take a few deep breaths. I like to take 3. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. 2 more, inhale, exhale. Last one, deep inhale, fill up your lungs, and exhale through your mouth. Good. This helps you become more grounded and more prepared for the next step, which is to repeat comforting phrases to yourself. You can say things like, I am worthy of self-love. I am worthy of self-acceptance. I absolutely love myself. I forgive myself for my mistakes. I choose to be kind to myself in this moment. And then as you do this, you can visualize sending yourself warmth and love with each and every phrase. And you can do this with your eyes open, with your eyes closed, the more comfortable you become with the technique. And always remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath while you're doing this exercise now. It ain't gonna work. And if you like exercises like this, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make more videos dedicated just to helping you do different types of mindfulness exercises like this that help you build your self-love and self-compassion. Which brings me to my second point of practicing self-love, is focusing on self-care. Prioritizing activities in your life that help you focus on nourishing your body, your mind, your spirit, and creating personalized self-care routines that include activities that you actually like. And to help yourself determine whether or not you like an activity, simply ask yourself, am I enjoying this? Does this feel good to me? Because maybe self-care includes moving your body and exercising, but that looks different for everybody. Because of things like trends and social media and society, you might think you're a gym baddie when really you might be a Pilates princess or like a yoga goddess. So find what energizes you, what excites you. I'm not the one to be like going in a gym, going hard, pumping iron. Like that ain't me. It's just not. But I do love a good group class, or I love a good yoga session. So those are the things that I gravitate to, that excite me, that energize me and make me feel good. Doing things like practicing mindfulness, meditation to help me cultivate more inner peace, more self-awareness, give myself time to reflect and affirm myself. It also helps that I'm certified in mindfulness as well. But these are the things that I like. So you have to find what works for you. You might see online how popular it is now to be like the 5 a.m. girly, but maybe that's not you. Maybe you prefer to get up at 7 a.m. and start your day. That's fine. Discover what works for you. And then do you, boo. Because you got this. I'm so rooting for you, but you got this. By incorporating these many tips and techniques into your life, you'll be able to build more self-love, increase your self-worth, be more magnetically confident, attract all the dreams that your heart desires, and be able to have more moments where you can celebrate yourself. So please celebrate yourself along the way. Celebrate yourself for watching this video and for taking these notes, and for next, taking the steps, doing the action steps needed to get yourself to that next level. And remember that this is a journey. It requires patience, it requires commitment, dedication, consistency, and kindness towards yourself, okay? Give yourself grace along the way. Even if you stumble, even if you make a mistake, it's okay. Just keep going, and you'll slowly but surely see your self-doubt dwindle, your self-esteem rise, and each and every day you'll become more and more of a confident queen. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Later, lovely.